So in this video, we are going to work on for loops, right? We'll discuss why we are using for loops and how to use a for loop. Clear? And in this video as well, we are going to take an example so that we can understand for loops in a better manner. Let's suppose I'm giving you a problem that this is a number, this is a variable, and this is 13. You need to print the table of 13. How you are going to print the table of 13 then? First option that you are choosing, if you don't know for loops, that is going to be just write print num multiply by 1, print num multiply by 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. This is the approach that we are going to take if you don't know how to automate the code, right? 7, 8, 9 and 10. And now if we are executing it, we are getting the output as well, 13, 26. And to make it even look better, what we can do, we can add here, right, number, right? And what will happen if I'm using this? Just wait and watch, because this is going to be the exact table that we are writing in our schools when we are kids. Now if I'm executing it, here you can see 13 comma, here I also need to write multiply by 1 is equals to 13, 13 to the 26, 13 3s are 39, 13 4s are 52, right? So this is the number that I have printed. After that I am adding a comma. Let's add one more comma, and here I need to write 1, right? And here I need to write 2, here I need to write 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and at the end writing 10. And now if we're executing it, this is the table of 13. 13 ones are 13, 13 twos are 26, and in between, if you want to write multiply and equals to, you can write that as well. It will look even better. So this is the first approach that we are going to choose, right? But let's suppose if I change the question that now you need to write table of 13 till 100 places. So in that particular case, you are not going to write 100 lines of code. Even if you are doing so, I will again change the question to write it for 500 places or 1000 places or 1 lakh places. What you will do? So for these kind of situations, when you know that we need to repeat the same code again and again, you can use for loops, right? Because here you can see the only thing that is changing in this particular condition is just a variable, and that variable is I. This variable is changing, right? Means for all this code of 10 lines, this value is changing, which is starting from 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Means if somehow we can automate this part, which with a variable which will start from 1 and go up to 10, then what we can do, we will multiply our number with that particular variable. So this is the use of for loop. This is how we are going to use for loops. So let's see how to do the same thing. Now what we are going to do, let me print few empty lines so that you can see what is happening in the for loop. I'll go for a for loop, right? For loop, this is for loop because we are going to guide them for how many iterations I need to use it, right? That is why it is called as a for loop, because we are going to give them the instruction that for how many iterations I need to go through it. So for loop is initialized with the for. This is how I need to write it. Here after that I need to initialize a variable, and the variable is, let's suppose I am initializing a variable named as I, right? After that I need to define a range, right, from where to start and where to end. So for that purpose I am writing for I in, this should be written in the same manner, right? And range. Here I need to open a bracket and close a bracket. Here I need to define a number, right? Actually, we need to define two numbers, but let's start with one. Now, let's suppose if I'm defining value 10. Here I need to write a colon, same as we are using in if else conditions. After enter, here whatever you are writing here will be treated as a for loop, right? Will be executed multiple times. So let's do one thing. Let's print I for this point of time and let's run it. So for loop, for I is a variable that I'm using in range, means in this particular range, means I variable will be changed in this particular manner. So let's run this and see the changes. And from here, after this, these are the values. So these are the value which I want to neglect. But the first 9 values, if I'm talking about from 0 to 9, right, means for I in range of 10, it will print first 10 values. First 10 values means from 0 to 9. It is exactly working on the indexing basis, right? And if I want to initialize, because I want the value from 1 to 10, right? So to write the value from 1 to 10, what I will write here, I will write from 1 to 10. If I'm not writing anything, it will start from 0, but I want the value from 1, so I'm writing 1 comma 10. Now if you're executing it, earlier you can see the value starting from 0, but now you can see the value is starting from 1, okay, but it is going up to 9, but I want to go up to 10. So what I need to write, whatever value I'm having here, just increment 1 to it. Instead of 10, just write 11, then it will go to 10, because here on the upper side I need to write one more than the value that I want to achieve. Here you can see the values are in range 1 to 10, means every time this loop is executing, it will change the value of I. First of all, the value of I is 1, then in the next iteration it is 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. And now you tell me how to fit these kind of codes into this particular for loop. Here you can see, instead of I, we are having this variable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now instead of using these variables, I can use this I, right? And what I can do, if I am multiplying my number with I, so after each iteration, I will get the table, right? That means if I'm writing here, instead of I, if I'm writing number multiply by I, let's remove this line of code. And now if I'm executing this, here you can see I'm having 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117 and 130, which is exactly the table of 13, right? So what we can do, if we can write number comma I comma number multiply by I, means this is 13 which is going to be fixed. This is the I which is changing from 1 to 10. This is 13 multiplied by 1, 13 multiplied by 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. And now you can see 13 ones are 13, 13 twos are 26. And now even if I am asking you to go for 1000 places, you can go for even 1000 places. Just you need to write 1000 here. Is that correct? No, I need to write 1000 of 1. Clear? Let's go for 101 only, because otherwise it will print a lot of lines. Now you can see 13 multiplied by 100 is 1300. Clear? To make it look even better, you can add some strings in between, like a cross here, and in between these particular string you can add a equals to sign, right? So first of all it will print 13, then it will print x, then it will print I, then it will print is equals to, then it will print multiplication of both of them. So if I'm executing it, this is something that you will get. 13 ones is 13, 13 two is equals to 26, 13 into 3 is equals to 39, right? So this is how you can print the table of a number using for loops, and this is how you can use for loops for your use case. Thank you.